Welcome to Redesigning Health and Home. I'm Meg.
And I'm Kerri. We love creating beautiful, functional spaces and living healthy, vibrant lives. So join us as we chat about simple, practical ways to take care of your body, mind, and your home. Whether it's fitness tips, home decor ideas, or navigating those big life moments, we're here to share what's working for us and what isn't, with some encouragement along the way.
And occasionally, we'll sprinkle in some fun topics to brighten your day and to make you smile. Let's redesign this life together, one step, one room, and one habit at a time.
Happy Friday. It's Meg and Kerri with Redesigning Health and Home, and we are so happy that you chose to join us today. Sitting across my screen from me is my beautiful friend, Meg. How are you today, Meg?
I am so great, Kerri, and you are a big reason I am so great.
Ooh, why is that?
Well, because I just got to see you in person, live and in person.
Yes, that was so fun. So Meg made the trip out to do some fun family things, but also came out and spent some time at our house. But you had quite a busy, big, full weekend.
It was big and full. The reason I was going out was because my sister had a big birthday and her husband planned a wonderful gathering. So I made the drive in and drove right to their house for the beginning of the party. There was family and some of her friends were a big surprise for her. And I got to see my kids too. And her kids did some fun activities and she wore a cute tiara the whole night because it was her big birthday. And you can't go to Chicago without getting some good pizza. So there was some wonderful pizza and a wonderful salad and a few different types of cakes. And we had a super, super fun time. But then I spent the night at her house and then I drove right by you the next day.
Yes. And we had a great time. We did a little bit of work, but we had a lot of fun. We went out for dinner, just the two of us, which was super fun. And then when we came back home, my husband got home from fishing and we had some very, very deep conversations.
We did have some fun conversations. I don't even know how they got started. Well, you showed me your wonderful wall of cigar box guitars.
Right. Yeah. My husband, he made some really cool shadow box pieces for his guitar collection, some of which he made. So Meg got a chance to see those up on the wall. And my husband was very proud to show those to Meg. So that was fun.
And I think our curiosity started there because one of the boxes had the blackest black of black paint on the back. And it really looked like the shadow box went on forever because it was almost a black hole-ish kind of color. And you and I were talking how it almost looked velvet. And he was really excited saying that this color almost looks like things are not even there.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And I think you've convinced him to paint the other two the same black, which thank you, because I've been wanting him to do that for a while.
It was super cool. So that just got our curiosity juices flowing. So we were talking all things and we had a really good conversation. And in my mind, I thought, okay, I'm going to just have to go to bed early because I'm going to remove myself. But when I got to your wonderful guest room, I thought, oh my gosh, it's after 10. I didn't even realize we were talking that long.
Yeah, we were staying up for a while. And Meg and, well, I'm in this category too. But also my husband, Pete, like you guys are pretty like bedtime, 9:00, So when it was 9:45 and we were still chatting, I was looking at my watch thinking, woo, we are burning the midnight oil over here.
Well, we know that getting our sleep is very important. So
Yes.
It feels nice to unwind a little bit. Oh, and I have to tell you, before I was on my way to see you, I got to see one of our wonderful listeners, Katie, for a cup of coffee. So, gosh, my cup was completely full. What a wonderful morning I had. And then I got to spend the beautiful day with you.
Yes. Oh, well, that's so great. One of these times when you come to town, I would love to meet Katie in person. We'll have to arrange it.
1,000%. And she even said, it was very last minute because I said, oh, I should have mentioned it to Kerri, but it would have been a long drive. And she said, well, give Kerri a big hug because I feel like I know her. So it was wonderful. And
That's so sweet.
you and I just had the best time. We were going to do a lot of work stuff. We did.
We did a little work stuff. We didn't do a ton of work stuff, but we got a little bit done, which was good. Some conversations that we were able to have in person, which was helpful. And then your next day, you were busy off again with your family.
Yeah, well, did you go canoeing that day?
Yes. Yes.
Tell us about your canoe trip, because now you're kind of on a roll.
Well, we went canoeing twice this weekend. We went Sunday and Monday, which was super fun. So we didn't know where we were going. My husband was like, "Well, I see lots of water over in this area. Let's just go and figure it out." And I'm like, "Okay." So the first place that we went to was a private lake. We couldn't even get on it. But the second one, it was pretty small, but it was the clearest water. You could see all the fish swimming underneath the canoe, and the weather was lovely, and it's just unusual to find a body of water that's that clear. After we finished at that lake, we passed another lake and we just kind of drove in just to take a peek. Well, it looked super cool and it was really big. And we thought, oh, we'll come back again tomorrow. So we did. We came back to the second lake and it was equally as clear. We're like, what is happening in Kerri, Illinois, that they can keep their water so clear? It was amazing. So yeah, we had two really beautiful canoe trips on the weekend. So I think my husband was feeling extra excited to get so much time on the water on the same weekend.
Even when we were together, you and I went to dinner because he was out kind of for a while fishing.
Yeah, which is not a surprise to anybody who knows him. He'll take any opportunity he can to go out and fish. But yeah, that was nice that he got back in time to have some of those funny conversations with us.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, and then my weekend continued so beautifully. The kids and I got to spend a nice amount of time together. I went down to the city and we went to a wonderful church and the choir was there. It was beautiful. And then the kids took me out for Mother's Day brunch and we went to a really unique restaurant. I think it was Michelin star.
Oh,
So, yes, yes. And that was my Mother's Day treat and they treated
aw,
me. Now, Carrie, I need to know your opinion and our listeners' opinion about something.
okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. I'm going to fast forward and then jump back
Okay.
because at the end of the meal, and the food was delicious.
Hmm.
We had some leftovers, and I felt fine about that because my daughter was going to take them for the week. Every bite I had was very good. It was a little bit on the pricey side for brunch,
Yeah.
but we really felt that the chef, this was my daughter's take, that they don't want you to do any substitutions because they want you to enjoy it the way it's
Right.
intended. We've got these whole wheat pancakes that had orange zest and a really nice maple syrup. The flavor was just incredible.
Mm,
And then my son got an egg sandwich that was tasty. It had a chili aioli, and he asked for it on the side, which they did do that.
hmm.
And then I got a beautiful pasta dish, but it was on their brunch menu.
Hmm.
So incredibly tasty and flavorful. I was full. I wish I could have eaten more because the flavor was so good. My mouth is watering, of course. And anyway, and then my daughter had an egg dish that was, I tasted a little bit. Very, 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 everything flavorful. The check came with a paper clip to a laminated card. And I thought,
Okay.
oh, what is this? And the server said, this card is to explain we add an automatic 25% tip to all dine-in orders. And then there's a spot on the bill for additional tip. And my kids were paying for the meal. So my daughter just said, I'm not going to do an additional tip. And I said, well, no, 25% is
Yeah, that's
quite
high.
hefty.
Yeah.
Well, on the laminated card, it explains it and it says, don't quote me, but it said something to the idea of to offset our hourly workers' wage, we always add a 25% tip to all dine in orders.
Hmm. Wow.
What do we think about that?
You know, it's a little off-putting, honestly. I don't like the way that that's explained. to offset the hourly wage of our workers. So I think we all can agree that, or not everybody would agree with this, but you and I, we've discussed this before. We like to tip generously, especially if the service is good. But it that feels very connected to the service, right? Like you go out of your way or you're extra friendly or whatever the reasons might be, and the tip reflects that. But to put it on the customer to help pay the hourly wage just doesn't really sit well with me because I feel like, isn't that within the control of whoever owns the establishment, right? To maybe adjust their pricing or how they purchase their foods and that sort of thing. That just strikes me as, why is it the customer's responsibility to offset the wages, right?
And I'll admit I'm not sure the exact wording. I should have probably looked it up. But the second thought to your point
Hmm.
is I don't think the server then had any incentive
Right.
to go above and beyond because
Oh,
they're
sure.
automatically getting their, and
Yeah.
I don't know how much the server has to tip out. I don't
Mhm.
know the ins and outs of that.
Right.
But one of the first cards, there was a laminated card that comes out first, and it was their pastry counter items.
Hmm.
So the kids and they were just, Mom, let's try a bunch of things. And there was a ham and cheese bear claw
Oh.
croissant that was in their pastry case. So we
Mhm.
said, oh, we'd like to start with that. And we split it in three. It was very tasty. Here I go again. My mouth is watering. But when they dropped it down, the 3 of us were looking, and I thought, "Oh, that was would be really good and warm," because it was just a cold croissant,
Yeah.
but it was a ham and cheese croissant. So, my daughter did ask when the server came back, "Is there any chance you could warm this up?"
Hmm.
And without even skipping a beat, he said, "No, we don't warm up anything from our pastry case." Now, looking back to when we got the check, well, sure,
Yeah.
that could be the answer.
Sure.
But it was a really cute place, vibrant, cool lighting,
Hmm.
cool seats. If he was doing the extra mile, could
Yeah.
have he said, "I'm gonna figure it out for you. I'm
Yes.
gonna get this to the back. We'll toast it up a little bit," of
Yes.
course. But I think now once I saw that card with the bill,
Yeah.
oh, okay. There
Yeah.
really wasn't a reason for him to want to do that.
Yeah. Right.
But I
Right.
don't know, would have we then written in an extra tip, additional tip?
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a lot of ins and outs, but I would love to know what our listeners feel about, I guess, tipping in general or this specific situation.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Because I think the opinions are really varied about tipping. My brother-in-law, I think I mentioned to you, his opinion is, I do my job every day. I don't get a tip. And that's obviously his opinion. I think a lot of people recognize that the hourly wage for servers is not very high. And so the tip does help to support them. But to have the establishment say that you're helping us to cover their wage, that just hits a little bit different. Yeah, I don't super love that.
There were a lot of questions going through my head as who is then an hourly worker
Right.
and does the server then have to tip out 50% of their, I don't
Right.
know. It was just very interesting, and I was then told that once we got this, I said, "Oh, I would have really liked to known this at the beginning."
Yeah.
And someone said, "Yeah, oh, it's on the menu when you first sit down." But it wasn't really truly presented until we got the final bill. And so I would love to hear other people's opinions because I thought it was a really interesting idea. And I'm not saying I'm right or wrong because obviously we went there, we had a wonderful time, the food was delicious. It was just part of their experience, and that's
Yeah.
what we did. So, but I would love to hear what people really think about that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Speaking of what people think of things, Meg,
What?
I'm curious what people are thinking of AI and the kind of speed with which it has populated our lives, right? So I know for you and I, we use some of the different AI platforms to help us draft an email or brainstorm some ideas or even do a little bit of research on some of the topics for our episode. But I do feel like there's this interesting kind of pushback that's happening. I don't know. Tell me what your thoughts are and how you're using AI right now.
I think I am just touching on the surface, just like you talked about. It was interesting. I have virtual clients for my Fit Fed Feeling Good,
Mhm.
and I always plan out my sessions myself.
Mhm.
I don't
Right.
think about it. But just recently, I took a picture of one of my plans because I thought, gosh, I don't want this to seem the AI is doing it. And I just took a picture and I uploaded it. And I asked, would this be flagged as created by AI?
Mm.
It did say no. It said, this
Okay.
looks original. Your wording you're using sounds very basic, basically. Because I use my own terms when I'm creating
Sure.
notes for myself, it complimented it. It said it's a very thought out, well-rounded session.
Mhm.
Because I didn't want someone to then say, "Oh, this is what I did," because I
Mhm.
would think, "No, this is my authentic work, and
Right.
I don't run it through
Right.
AI." But then I thought, "Gosh, maybe I should flip the script and just pull in one of my sessions, take a picture of my notes,"
Mhm.
and it said, "No, you can tell, like, you do this on your own." But
Okay.
I really feel I just scratched the surface of using it,
Yeah.
and even with some of the ideas of taking a picture of your fridge and saying, "This is what I have. My fridge is mother's cupboard," like you have mentioned.
Right.
Can you create a recipe I can use out of what
Oh,
I have?
wow. Wow. Yeah.
Right? But I
And
I haven't explored even some of those ideas. I
right.
use it, but very, very
Yeah.
scratching the surface. How about
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, I would say the same. So for my work, I am using the image creator. So that's interesting. So for example, we're working on our bedroom, as you and I talked about. And so I pulled the pictures of the paint colors I had in mind. You can take a picture of your bed that you have and say, create a rendering of this with these paint colors in this bed. And now add these drapes and upload the picture of the drapes. And it does give you a nice visual of what the room is sort of going to look like. It is getting better all the time. It has a ways to go. But you have to be careful because I've done that with a client for some things, and it can actually confuse the issue even more. Like, oh, is it going to be as dark as that? Like, are the cabinets going to be as dark as what you're showing me in the rendering, or are they going to be more like the color that the supplier sent? So you do have to be a little bit careful. It can give you the gist. It's not the actual products, and it's limited. One of the things that I find difficult about colors, just from my job as a home stylist, is colors change with the light that's in your room. And so I could put a color on that wall, which is currently in shadow, and the same color on that wall that's in sunshine, and they would look very different. And so when you're using images, even if you're just dragging them into a Canva or a PowerPoint, it's only showing you one shade of the color. It can't show you all the colors it's going to be over the course of the light of the day. And same with AI. It's got to pick one time of day and it shows you that color. So
Mm.
it can be a little bit deceiving. And I think if you're basing big purchase decisions off of that, I would suggest to be very careful. You don't want to spend oodles of money on something based on an AI image at this time.
Now you're saying you use an image creator. Is
Mhm.
this a design program, or is this strictly one of the Gemini, Claude's chats?
So honestly, I have found chat to be the most friendly to work with, even for this application. So I actually purchased a software program or a subscription that had AI capabilities to it, and it was actually really disappointing. I canceled it because it took so long to generate the image, and it was frustrating to use. It wasn't very user friendly. So it would generate the image and I would say, "No, the windows are this wide, they need to be located here," and it just really wasn't getting it at all.
Mm.
Now, obviously, our use, the general public's use of AI is pretty early on, and I know it'll get better and better over time. But right now, I'm finding for my purposes that chat seems to be the easiest to use and the most friendly as far as making edits. Now, it's not perfect either. It kept wanting to put the microwave in the middle of the wall instead of over the oven. I was like trying to tell it in a lot of different ways, and it was still not right. And I would even say, no, that's not correct. Put it over the oven. And for some reason, it was not able to do that. So, anyway, so there's the use of AI, but then there's the whole what is that going to do to how we use our brains and to people's jobs. And I'm not going to get too much into that, but I will say that my daughter, who's 24, and my nephew, who's also 24, they're pushing back from the perspective of use your own brain. Like, why are you getting AI to draft all these letters and emails and stuff? Like, use your own words, use your own brain. And it's interesting to me that the younger crowd is having that kind of reaction. I thought it might have maybe been like our age or older that's like, I'm not going to use that. I don't trust it or whatever. But they're even saying, You don't need to use that for every email that you make and that sort of thing." So it will be interesting to see how this unfolds. And I understand that there's a lot deeper layers around AI, and I'm sure people have some very strong opinions, which we'd be happy to hear. But yeah, I think what's so shocking to me is how quickly it inundated our lives.
Well, and it's growing and changing every day. Like I said, I probably just have the door cracked open. I know you mentioned the younger generation, and I've heard a little bit of mixed with that,
Mhm,
and even the older. I think what we can best do is to be resourceful or smart, like use your brain
mhm.
with the prompts,
Yeah.
because I think you could be quote unquote sloppy.
Mhm,
But if you really craft it and work hard to really nail down exactly the perfect prompt instead of
mhm.
continually changing it, I know
Right.
I am trying to work on that, where you almost have to know its language, I guess.
Right. Yes. Yes. And actually, one of the conversations we had with my husband when you were here was my husband's a scientist, and he was saying how careful he has to be to fact check AI. He was asking it about patents, and some of the patent information that he was receiving was not correct. And he only knew that because he went to the patent website and looked up the number, and it was not the same. And so I think we're still at that phase too of making double, triple sure that the information that we are receiving is correct.
Well, it's interesting too because you and I, your homestyle carry on fit fat feeling good, really not in that tech space
Right.
where if we maybe had a tech expert on, which would be kind of cool,
Yes, it would be.
just to see are we using it in a way we should be and how we can improve our use. I struggle with it because I wish I knew more. So part of me thinks, do I even really know what I'm tiptoeing into at
Sure.
all? And how can I use it to the best of my ability?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think that would be a really interesting guest to have on for sure. Yeah.
We're in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, it's moving quicker than we can even think
Yes.
about.
Yes. Do you remember the TV show The Jetsons? Did you
Well,
watch that?
yeah,
Yeah. I don't think we're not flying around in our little bubble aircrafts yet,
they're
but I think
coming.
I think they are. We have self-driving cars already, and we have the drones, so I don't think it's far off where we'll be flying around in our little I don't even know what they were called.
I think they are not the jetpacks, but there are. individual mini helicopters that they're in the news. They are in the news.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, Meg, here's the next sort of controversy that I want to talk about. So, you and I have talked about aging and redesigning our health and our home as we age. And there's been a lot of videos going around of Pamela Anderson, actress from Baywatch back in the day. And you had mentioned, I think, that she started a new skincare line. Is that what you were saying?
Yes, it looks
Mhm.
like a beautiful natural skincare line.
Right, right. And so, you know, I don't know if this is correct, but it seems like back in the day, maybe Pamela Anderson was taking on roles where she was maybe more made up as far as like makeup and hair and all that kind of stuff. And she's talked about how she's embracing the more natural kind of look. And as you can imagine, have been a wide variety of responses to that. I'm curious what you think about that. So her skincare line has kind of embraced natural beauty and not doing the really made up sort of looks. So how do you feel about that? What's your thought about that?
Well, one, I love it. I think she's absolutely gorgeous. She is
Yeah.
stunning. She has embraced the aging gracefully.
Mhm.
However, she's not just saying, I'm done. I'm letting everything go.
Right.
She is pivoting to say, I'm going to take the reins on this and
Yeah.
I'm going to do it my way.
Mhm.
And I'm going to figure out how I can take the best care of my body and my skin with these beautiful products I have.
Mhm.
And maybe not just let everything go and say, hey, gravity, do your thing.
Right. Right.
I'm going to try to take it in my own hands
Mhm.
and do what I can to just let my natural beauty glow.
Right. I have strong opinions about people making comments on other people's appearances, just in general.
Yes.
I just don't know when we got to the point where we felt like it was okay just to say whatever we want about somebody's weight or their age or their skin or their hair color. I just don't know where that comes from. I guess maybe it's social media, keyboard warriors, you can type whatever you want. But I just think these are people. Would you really say that to like a friend of yours or make some kind of comment on their appearance? It just seems so unkind. Like, why would you
Unkind.
ever
And
do that?
why would anyone even want to do that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Or care, not care, because that sounds like, no, I don't care. But to feel like you need to pass some kind of judgment on somebody else's appearance, it just seems, I don't know, just seems not nice. Not nice at all.
Not
So,
nice at all. Not nice at all. And there's no reason for it. I mean, I'm trying to dig deep into the controversy of it, of where it could be coming from a good place. Could
mhm,
that possibly be? But I think the framing, the presentation is huge.
mhm,
And if it's to someone you know,
mhm.
and it would be coming from a good place where that color, you need to wear it all the time. Like it looks
Yes.
great on you.
Right.
Or to build it up in a positive way.
Mhm.
But yeah, I agree with you. When I on my YouTube, I got a little bit of a nasty comment, but I just responded in a positive way. It wasn't nasty at all, but it was, that person must have just needed to express themselves or be feeling bad. And if that made them happy or that made them feel good to say that, okay, that's fine. I mean, I don't have a big audience, so I don't get a lot of those. So it was a little more, I guess that person just is in a bad place and they needed to say this. And maybe if that made them feel good, I hope it did. But was it necessary? No.
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah.
kind? No.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
they do we know what someone else is going through? No, not
Yeah.
at all. Never.
Exactly. And I think it's one thing if somebody ask the question. Like I've seen videos where somebody will say, "Oh, I am not a fashion person and I have to go to this thing. Help me out here, friends. Like, what do you think? Should I wear this or should I wear this?" And they're asking for people's opinions. That's not what I mean. It's when it's like completely unsolicited, mean responses. I remember this was ages ago. We were living in Rochester and I worked at this little boutique and we were putting out social media posts and I put a video out wearing one of the scarves that we sold. And it was a big chunky scarf and I'm not a very tall person. And the comment I got was, "Wow, that scarf is a little much." It's like, okay, got it. What I mean, and that's like such a mild comment, right? But I just remember being so surprised, like, really, you felt the need to say say that. But anyway, I also am not very thick-skinned, so
Well, that's a lot of it too. That is a lot of it too. But why would you need to be? I mean, if we don't have anything nice to say, don't say it. But why would you even not have anything nice? I mean,
yeah,
why,
right.
you just look at someone and say, wow, they've got pretty eyes or they've got, what great cheekbones or something. You would find the great
Yeah,
positive thing about them where that is who you are.
right, right.
And we are self-proclaimed thin-skinned.
We are, for sure,
As
for
good as
sure.
they come, so we want your comments.
We want your comments as long as they're nice. I'm kidding, sort of.
Right. Well, we're curious about some of these things about,
Yes, and we're bringing up the controversies, so
we
hopefully
really are, we
and
really are.
yeah, for sure, so
No,
well,
I don't like that at all when I see those comments. So that's why I just watch mac and cheese videos because you really can't say anything about.
yes. Well, then I feel compelled to go to the defense of like, "Oh, you're beautiful," and like,
Oh,
"Yeah, yeah." I feel
interesting.
like I gotta try to like cancel out their terrible thing by my saying a nice thing, but yeah. Well, I think it's fun to talk about a few of those controversial things, but I wanted to share with you because this goes back to an episode that we had
Ooh,
recently. That 1 week from today, my daughter Jessica and I are going to have the color analysis done because we had talked about that, how there's the online ones, but we're actually going to a real live person in Chicago a week from today to go get our colors done. So I'm super excited. I found this woman on Instagram. I saw that there is a company called House of Color, but it's always House of Color with other words behind. And I was not really understanding. Well, it turns out it's like Mary Kay, and then there's individual consultants. So House of Color has individual analysts. And so I entered in the zip code for my daughter, and this woman came up and we scheduled her. So it's just for the two of us, and it goes from 11:30 till 2:30, which is kind of long.
for both of you together.
3 hours for both of us. I believe I saw you could do 1, 2, 3, or 4, and if you had a larger group, you had to kinda put in a special request, and then, of course, the time allotted varies depending on how big your group is.
Okay.
So, for the 2 of us, it's 3 hours, so I'm very excited to see, like, what's all's gonna happen within that 3 hours, so I'll keep you posted.
Well, now I have some questions about this.
Yes.
Are you supposed to wear anything specific?
I have not received any information about that yet, so
Okay.
I know that when I've seen the kind of footage of people doing it, it seems like they get draped with something kind of white, and so I don't think it really matters what you wear underneath because 'cause they're gonna put these drapes on you anyway. I am curious about our hair. Is she gonna pull our hair back? Is she gonna leave it out? What's gonna happen? Are we gonna be asked to remove our makeup? Like, I don't know what else is gonna happen. So, I will definitely do a little bit of, keeping track and hopefully maybe even I'll take some photos if it's allowed and let you know how it goes. But yeah, I'm excited.
So, if you were feeling it was time to get your hair done, would
Mhm.
you want that your hair done the way that you typically like to have it before you go?
'Cause. I mean, this is it right now. I have decided to. 'Cause. I have decided to. 'Cause. I. This is it right now. I have decided to. 'Cause. I. This is it right now. I have decided to. 'Cause. I. This is it right now. I have decided to. 'Cause. I. This is it right now. I have decided to. 'Cause. I. This is it right now. I have decided to. 'Cause. I. This is it right now. I have decided to. 'Cause. I. This is it right now. I have decided to. 'Cause. I. This is it right now. I have decided to. 'Cause. I. This is it right now. I have decided to. 'Cause. I. This is it right now. I have decided to. 'Cause. I. This is it right now. I have decided to. 'Cause. I. This is it right now. I have decided to. 'Cause. I. This is it right now. I have decided to. 'Cause. I. This is it right now. I have decided to. 'Cause. I. This is it right now. I have decided to. 'Cause. I. This is not color my hair. I mentioned to you all I do usually is pounce out the grays. I need to decide, should I pounce out the grays or should I let the grays just show and see what she says? Because I did see a post of hers actually where she even had recommendations for women on their hair color based on their skin tone. And I think more specifically, the one I saw, she was encouraging the young woman to go back to a hair color that was closer to her natural hair color. So that was interesting. So yeah, I'll let you know what happens. I'm excited to see the process.
That's so cool. I'm so excited for you. So this is in
Thank
1
you.
week.
1 week, yes. one
So
week
we'll
from today.
see some pictures or hear the details.
Yes, for sure. And I thought, should I wear a color that I think is a good color for me to the appointment? So she's like, okay, so she has an idea. Or should I just wear some random black top or something? I don't know.
Well, exciting. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, that's super cool. Well, this has
for
been a
sure.
lot of fun.
Yes. And do you have anything coming up?
Well, yeah, Carrie, you and I, when we got together, we talked a little bit about our upcoming summer activity over at Camp Aramoni, which is super exciting. We still have to round out and finalize some of those details.
Yeah, it's coming up quick. So, for anyone who hasn't heard, Meg and I have secured a date to go and do a live podcast. Meg's going to do a fitness and movement session with the guests that arrive, and I'm going to do a tablescape presentation as well. Then there's going to be wood fired pizza outside at the beautiful Camp Aramoni, which is kind of far west suburbs, I would say. Would you say? Of
Definitely.
Chicago area. Tickets are already on sale, so if anybody is interested, we'll put the link below for you to check that out. We would love to see you there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So come join us. And thanks for joining us today. We hope we hear all about what your thoughts are about some of the things we discussed.
And until next Friday, we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Hey, listeners, we are going to ask you for a quick favor. If you could please follow us, we would appreciate it so very much. And a rating or review would also really help us be found by other listeners so that we can grow this audience and keep bringing you fresh content. Thank you so much.